Null has fallen. Sulcezat here, reporting in again, keeping track of our victories, our defeats, and our concerns in our small burgeoning empire. The tech priests have warned me that we risk potentially falling behind in not only the race for advanced technology, as the Xenos seem to develop it outside of the stream of the STC technology that Terrans have always, strove for as the pinnacle of all knowledge. But we seem to be able to capture new ideas, new ways of manufacturing and creating things, new ways of thinking about things, as dangerous as that may be from the Xenos out there. Particularly, production methods are quite crude, substandard. We've repurposed many of the manufacturums that we've had on board some of our ships. We've salvaged some wreckage from other fleets that presumably have been plucked out of the prime galaxy, the prime universe, and placed here in this pocket dimension. But I do have concerns. As always, food is one of them, and I can see here we're falling behind again, most likely because of the mouths on Null. We are temporarily taking the time to clean up that mess of mouths to feed over there, and we should get some Terrans en route to help populate that world. So we will just go to Rigel here and grab a settler. We've got the freighter fleets to accommodate this, and we will transport them in 6 turns. Sure, to Null 1. They're on their way. That'll be helpful. So for the time being, food issues are satisfied. And all other planets have at least one working group of 1 million Terrans working on the manufactoriums or farming at the very least. So things are looking pretty good for us there. I want to just sort and make sure that we do have, in fact, quite a few naval fleets in the production queue, although this one on New Terra 3, I get the feeling it'll never be completed, unfortunately. So if I recall, let's take a look at our leaders situation right now. We've got our various odd-looking Terran leaders strewn about some of our primary systems. And in my mind, these are the most valuable systems we have. Rosh Iki here on Zoth, as they spread out to these more 3 worlds with varying degrees of mineral abundance. But Zoth 3 itself is rich and with ancient artifacts. We've got Rotan with Gallus there, helping to boost our financial output. Auri is helping with pollution, if you can believe that, helping clean up environmental waste to allow for greater protection. It's not to protect the environment, it's to be more efficient with the industry we create there. But both a rich and abundant world that she's looking over. And then Crassus here on New Terra, who helps us with labor. And we've also got, I wonder if Rash Iki would be there. Let's look at Instructor. Rash Iki, the Warlord, increases the experience by 3 of all ships. And we don't really keep ships in orbit around Zoth. Well, actually we do, which probably makes sense why she's there. Beyond that, the tactics increase the initiative of all accompanying ships at the same location by 4, and Commando increases the ground combat bonus for all troops by 4 that are stationed on ships or on the planets in that system. So I think those folks are in the right spot. Of course, we have our little lab rat Gizmo here providing research for us. Unwillingly, I might add. It works. Captain Jared in the officer pool. I think we just rescued Jared off some of these planets down here in the celestial south of the Pocket Galaxy. But he's a potent warrior, so the question is, where are we going to be fighting next? That's where we want him. I think probably up here in the Null area. So let's find the Null fleet. Paladin, yeah, that's it. So this Paladin and these transports, I believe, are in orbit around Null right now. So we'll select the ship and we will dispatch the captain, 5 turns for Jared to arrive on the Paladin 1. That takes care of that. So currently, just to refresh, we have a colony ship en route to Monius, which has 2 planets that can be inhabited. I don't know if that's a great idea, honestly. I would almost rely on troop transports and our ships of the line to capture new planets for us and take the structures that are there. But I think we'll be okay for the time being. We do have enemies en route, though. We have a Nolan battleship en route to Moretta. In response, we've sent a Purger to Moretta, but it's 4 days out. So let's just take a look at Moretta real quick and see what its defenses are. It's a small, barren planet, but it does have gold deposits, which is not a bad thing. It has a star base. I could see a single battleship if there's a bit of parity mismatch between the technology levels falling to a battleship. But we have a missile base in the queue. It will be completed in 1 turn. I think we'll rely on that. So between the missile base and the battle station, we won't lose Moretta. Although it will be blockaded for the time being, which isn't great. Meaning we can't buy out production, we can't get food into the planet, and they do have a shortage there. Their hydroponic farm is only producing enough food for 2 million workers at the time. What else do we have to work with? Zubin, recently captured in Kadith. I wonder, hold on, let's see if Kadith has anything to defend itself with. Where are we at with Kadith? Starbase in 50 turns. Ooh, gosh, that's not great. I would love to capture Mentar. We have no transports in the area. I guess we used up all of our transports at Zubin. Let's see, what do we got here? Okay. It won't take many Marines of ours to capture Mentar, I can assure you of that. Could a single transport do it? It's possible. One of our battleships won't be enough to do it. Let's send 1 transport to Zubin. We'll kind of group up and we'll get ready for a fight there. What else do we got? And then let's check our defenses in the Knoll system. We have a missile base there, and next in queue is Marine Barracks. It'll be a while till we get a starbase finished there. Yeah, it's not going to help us out. What about Nah? Splinter Colony. We want to protect this one. Ultra-rich Splinter Colony. I don't think we want that. That's a mistake, though, to be working on a colony base. Let's get a missile base slotted in, then we'll work on colony base. We just want to make sure we have something to at least, at the minimum, defend each of our planets. So that missile base will be finished very quickly. Missile base there on the Knoll system. It's better than nothing, just so we don't lose the planets immediately to bombardment. But the nice thing is, because we know this Knoll battleship is en route to Moretta, it can't get pulled back, and they've got a single destroyer here at Tau. And I don't see any other ships in this neck of the woods. I am going to send our fleet. Let's see, who else is en route here? Oh, that's another transport to Nah. Let's send these fleets in to Tau. I want to try and capture the next planet as quickly as possible. And then we'll just have to watch out. They may... I don't think they can counterattack Knoll with that missile base. That destroyer wouldn't be able to take it, but they may come back on Nah because they've got a lot. 32 Marines on those, and although they're probably not effective Marines, 32 is a lot of Marines. Anything else to do right now? Check our races tab. We have some defending agents. They're not great, but it's better than nothing. If I ever could produce enough, I might attempt to send agents to infiltrate, but for the time being, we'll let it stand. We've got enough BC coming in, so that's our status as of right now. Let's continue. Moretta Prime finished construction of the missile base. That's perfect. And actually, hold on. Troop transports are done in 3 turns. Purger's coming up at New Terra 2. That's perfect. We want that done quickly. I would love to get another troop transport done sooner. Because we want to take planets in the Null system and the Mentar. We're fighting 2 war fronts at the same time. So I'm actually going to interrupt this this Purger here and put another transport. So we will part out some of the containers that we're going to go onto that battleship in orbit. We'll put some seals on them and some food containment, some thrusters, and we'll make a transport out of that. That'll get us a transport immediately there off of New Terra. So we keep cannibalizing that pirate ship, unfortunately, but that should work for now. Next turn. Combat at Tau, excellent. And they pulled out their fleet. Ah, yes, they're counterattacking. That's not that great. Starbase, missile base versus 2 battleships. We can do it. We can do it. Yes, we're going to invade, and then we'll have to see how we can defend Na. I'm going to have to make sure that missile base gets built there as quickly as possible. Okay, let's do a quick scan here so we have an idea what we're looking at. The missile base has 200 structure, titanium armor. That's it. 1 damage blocked. That's from the atmosphere. There are no shields, so it must be the planetary atmosphere. So we're going to want to put our nuclear missile salvos onto that missile base. And then the star base, it's pathetic. Mass drivers only. That's a good thing, though. They don't have neutron blasters, sorry, which would kill our Marines. Because we want to rely on our Marines to get onto this starbase and take out their 20 Marines. That's the way to capture the structure, not to destroy it. It is actually quite durable because it has both reinforced hull and heavy armor. I would love to capture one of those technologies from the Nolan. I think do we have both of those? I can't remember right now, quite honestly. All right, well, that tells us what we want to do. So the first thing we're going to do is advance our ships as far forward as they can get. Let's deselect our beam weapons, and we will launch our first salvo of 5 nuclear missiles onto the missile base. Those are away, yes, and then we will use the remainder of our weapons against the starbase. It didn't do much. Actually, maybe we should focus everything on the missile base. Yes, yeah, because we can capture the starbase with our Marines. It's an immobile platform, so we don't have to disable it. If the shields are down, it's immobilized, then our Marines can land, provided we're next to the system. So we actually just have to race towards that as quickly as we can. So their turn is done. This is our next ship. We're going to fire everything they have onto the planetary surface. And that was another missile salvo as well. And I probably should have advanced the ship before firing. But there we go. Done. Here come their turn. Not too bad. Minimal damage coming from the starbase itself. The trick to recall, though, is that there is a flight of missiles inbound to us right now. Right there, and that is 5 missiles from the starbase and 14 coming off of the planetary missile base. That's bad news. That's a significant amount of weaponry. But we will keep our point defense lasers unused for the time being, and they should be able to counteract some of the incoming missiles. We got 4 of them there. I don't know if that's going to be enough, folks. I can't target these with our main weapons, of course. But I can target the planetary surface again. And our missile flights are inbound to that planet, so hopefully we can take out that missile base shortly. So that's the first bunch of missiles landed on us. We'll advance our ship to here. We're going to target those 14. We destroyed 3, so that will help. And then we're going to continue on, again, as far as we can move. Can I target these missiles? No. I'll fire again on the missile base on the planet. Hit done. So our other battleship. I'm going to advance them as far as we can get them. We will fire our point defense. We took out one of the missiles. Ooh, this is bad news. This is bad news. And we'll fire on the planet there as well. So our missile salvos should finish hitting and taking out that missile base on the next turn. Our ship is taking much more punishment from those missile flights. The missile base is still intact. That sucks. Let's close the gap. Let's fire on these on these missiles. We took out quite a few of those. That's not bad. And we're going to try and punch through the shield. We're going to board. We're going to capture with everything we have. No losses. We killed 20. We lost none. We capture the ship. And now we just need to finish off the missile base here on the planet. It's possible our battleship here will be destroyed. I'm going to keep them where they're at. Yeah, they should have enough. They have a little bit of shields and enough armor left. So let's try and just finish off the missile base. It is done. If we survive this salvo, we did it. Both of our ships survived. We're going to invade. Now, I've noticed that we're having trouble capturing enemy star bases intact. We just seem to destroy them. So we lost no Marines here. Let's do a quick comparison. The Nolan, being a pathetic Xeno species, have titanium armor, not unlike our own at a +10. They're using a fusion rifle as well as us, both at +10. You see over here. Now, we have the anti-grav harness for +10, and we have our racial bonus at a +20. So they have their racial bonus, or not racial bonus, low gravity provides a -10 for them. So we overwhelmingly wipe them out, and that makes sense. Yes. Oh. The Emperor is looking down on us here, I assure you folks. Robo-miners. Automate many difficult tasks, increasing the productivity of industrial workers, generates 10 production, and increases the production of each worker by +2. That is a technology we had hints existed, and now it is ours. And that will certainly turn the tides, or the fortunes of the Terrans rise and fall with our ability to produce not only Terrans, but ships of war, weapons of war as well. So production's looking good. That's incredible. What? Ooh, no. Zubon just got attacked. I didn't notice that. Oh boy. Zubon is right down here. Oh, wow. Gosh darn it. Lords of Chaos be damned. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Okay. So at this range, their weapons are ineffective. It's good to know. Let's do some scans here. There are missiles coming at us. 5 missiles in the salvo. And let's check the ship as a whole. Beam attack is 75. Beam defense is 45. Missile evasion 70. Titanium armor with 100 structure, 100 armor. That's going to hurt them. Their ship is much more durable. Now they have a class 3 shield which can block up to 60 damage. EMC jammer, battle pod, security stations, 20 total crew. They do have neutron blasters. We need to be careful because it's possible they could kill every Marine on our ship before we get there. It's not great. And let's just check our ship. Ah, dang it. I really wish we'd had a missile base on Zubin. We have the heavy armor, which gives us 100 structure and 300 armor, but just a class 1 shield. So there's a small trade-off there. We also have neutron blasters. So we are going to close the gap as quickly as possible. We hit no missiles. That is a problem. Yeah, we're just flying through the missiles. We're going to fire everything else onto their front shield. This is rough, folks. We're just going to take the missiles on the nose. We're not even going to try to destroy them. Ooh, we actually got a good amount of them. Punch through the front shields. And we close the gap the rest of the way. Now we're just in a close range race to see if we can disable the ship or destroy it before it destroys us. I don't think we're going to succeed. Oh my gosh. They're out of missiles. Oh. 1 for 1. Oh, I didn't want to, I would have loved to have captured that ship. However, we'll see what happens. I'm assuming they have Marines on transports that may invade our planet. Okay. Microbiotics. Our tech priests have just come up with this. Microorganisms used to create drugs increase the population growth rate of all planets by 25% and halves the percentage chance for death spores and bioterminators to kill colonists. That's not a bad thing. As we were talking about earlier, production is the key to the strength of Terrans. Both biological reproduction and manufacturing weapons of war. So here's the biological side of that. That's great news. We're at the 900 RP research point tier. Assault shuttles would be fantastic to carry our Marines across. Ion pulse cannons, I would like. This is interesting. Fires a particle wave that overloads ship systems, and the damage bypasses all armor and structure. It goes right to the systems, such as engine systems, to disable an enemy ship. I would also like the Class 3 shields would be fantastic for us. I think Class 3 shields may be worthwhile to grab right now because it'll immediately be placed onto our star bases, making them that much more defensible. Then we'll probably go for those assault shuttles. But let's go for that Class 3 shield right now. Select a colony base at Zoth. Sure. We will go on Zoth 2, which is an abundant radiated. And yes, they will start with the automated factory, followed by marine barracks, missile base, research lab, robo-miner plant, starbase computer. Yeah. Actually, we're going to drop the robot miner plant right after the marine barracks, I think. Okay. We'll hit return. Scouts arrive at the Tau system. That's what we just conquered up there from the Null. So Null Prime finished the marine barracks. New Terra 3, our main world, finished a transport. New Terra 2 finished a Purger, which is excellent since we just lost a battleship. Moretta 2 has starvation. That is because they were blockaded by the Null. Yes. Spy finished, colony base. Purger finished here. This is New Terra 2 Ultra Rich. Yeah, let's go straight for the Robo-Miner. This will make this world just an insane amount of production. Annihilate conquered colonists. Yes, please. Change over here to Marine Barracks, obviously. Missile base, Starbase, Supercomputer. There you go. Oh. There's so much going on here right now. This is still our colony ship en route down here to Monius. That's fine. They did not invade at Zubin. I guess they know how weak their Marines are. Okay, this battleship is en route to Moretta, but they've already retreated their battleship back to Tau. Well, that's awesome because we have 2 battleships waiting for it. We'll destroy it at Tau when it arrives. That's amazing. Here's the problem, that we have incoming a destroyer and a bunch of transports to Na and a frigate. Okay, so we need to speed build a missile bay. Oh no! All those troop transports are gonna crack Na, without a doubt. There's just too many of them. We have no Marines on the surface. We'd see them here. What would it cost to buy this? 69. Nice. We need to disassemble a structure on another world that's not necessary right now. And that is exactly what we're going to do. We also need to handle our food issues. So let's take care of that real quick. We'll strip away some Nolums. That'll get our food situation for at least momentarily rectified. And then let's go to a world like Rigel that I think is well protected within our Imperium. Oh, I just realized something else we need to do. Okay, one thing at a time. We need to get the robo-miner plants in the production lines on these battleships across all our systems as quick as we can. But in the meantime, research lab, supercomputer, pollution processor. Sure, we have a very small amount of pollution on this planet anyway. Destroy the pollution processor for 40 BC. We need 69 more. Yeah, I would love to get... Yeah, let's do 2 pollution processors. So that's rubble. Oh my gosh, I didn't know it made a rubble pile. I never noticed that. Rubble pile. Okay. We're trying to speed build this missile base at Na. 29 more. I can't destroy their auto factory, of course. Maybe... Oh, you know, there might be buildings on Tau and Null built by the Xenos that we don't need. Biosphere, Space Academy. Oh, geez, yeah, this is what we should have destroyed here. Robo-miner plant, research lab, hydroponic farm. What do we get for taking out that Space Academy? Yeah, there we go. It's not that a Space Academy is unuseful, but we don't need it right now. We're not going to be housing a fleet at Null, presumably. So we've got that done. We will return to the Na planet, jump in here, and outright buy that missile base. That missile base against a single destroyer and a frigate should be more than enough to wipe those out. Okay. That being said, we have a solution for what's going to happen at Tau. 2 battleships versus 1. We can defend Na, we think, although we will get our transport out of there or it'll be destroyed. Zoth has a single battleship in orbit. Kadith. Let's send Kadith to the Zubin, the battleship at Zubin, Kadith to the Zubin system to drive off those transports. And we have a transport and a perfectly good new Purger. Let's send them to Zubin, because I would love to counterattack at Ventar as soon as possible. Is that everything we can do for right now? Oh, no. We need to get those robo-miner plants. And essentially, these are much more automated plants that require less of our workers to do the same amount of work. So it greatly amplifies how much we can produce. And they'll probably need a pollution processor here pretty shortly as well. So I'm going to put that in there. I can only imagine the pollution bumping up quite a bit here very quickly. What else can we do? Yeah, we want robo-miners everywhere we can get them. So we're trying to implement this across every world we have. It might actually allow us to get some work done at New Terra 3 for the first time ever. Yeah, we're going to... Oh, they have that there. We will move the robo-miner plant ahead of that starbase. Ahead of this starbase. Now, I'm not going to worry about pollution processors on all these planets yet. We'll just have to kind of keep an eye on how much pollution is created. A colony base here? They have everything else going. I keep... Yeah, these two already have, because they're null planets, they already have robo-miners. Missile base will be completed in Na, which is critical. Tau 2? Tau 3? They have a robo-miner. That's awesome. Gammas. Get them a robo-miner. Automated factory has to come first, and then the spy. Yeah, let's get them a robo-miner head of that spy. That's all of our planets. Let's hit turn. We don't know what's going to happen here. Robo-miner finished on New Terra. Prime, Rigel 2. Rigel Prime. Now finishes the missile base. Darlock and Cylon are now at peace. Good for them. Alright, let's see what's happening here. Null are still en route to Tau. The Sakra are going to colonize the TIE system. Colony ship and a single destroyer. I'm going to worry about that for now. There's nothing I can really do, but we're already fighting two wars. War on two fronts. The transports are retreating to Mentar, which is perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. And yeah, we'll see what happens here at Tau when that battleship arrives. We're going to take it. Let's try and capture that battleship. We can either bring it into our fleet, or we can try to disassemble it and crack some technology out of it. So let's scan before we launch everything, because this could be a pretty bloody fight. Beam attacks plus 90, beam defense plus 60. Missile evasion is 7%, so non-existence. Our missiles will hit into that. Now, they do have heavy armor, making it reasonably durable, but we're not trying to destroy it. But we do need to disable the engines. This is going to be tricky. They're firing mass drivers and nuclear missiles. It's good because they don't have an ability to destroy our Marines. So we can pick away at this ship for a while. Fire the first salvo of nukes off. Give it everything we have on that. We'll move them in, and I'm going to disable this flight of nukes. And again, we're just trying to punch through the ship, get through that armor, do some damage to that superstructure. That was highly ineffective, what they just did there, which is awesome. We're closing the gap. I see missiles en route to us. I'm going to disable our missiles. I'm going to click them red so that we don't keep having to deselect them. I could see it being quite a problem if we accidentally blew that out of the air. They fired 4 missiles at us. Let's try and target them. We got 3. They're down to 1. That's awesome. And actually what we'll do is we'll just ignore the missile warning. We'll just take that and push through. So it looks like we have the ability to completely annihilate all the missiles they fire. We're going to disable our missiles completely by switching them to red. And again, fire through, doing some pretty good amount of damage to that armor. That ship's going to have to run. Or not. Okay. We close in closer. We will fire on that missile flight. And then we'll fire on the ship. Again, punching through the shields easily. Close our ship in. Fire our point defense. No missiles left in flight. Finish advancing as far as we can. And fire everything we have. I will be amazed if they don't run. It almost doesn't make sense that they wouldn't run, but it's kind of a point-blank shot. I'm going to be a little careful at this point here. Let's start with the heavy mass drivers. Then we'll go to the 2 fusion beams, and then the point defense cannons, which do hit up close, as you can see, even though they're point defense. And then, yeah, let's angle this ship in. We'll do the same thing here. We want to just try to pick this apart. Oh, that was a good hit. Holy cows. Here's our heavy fusion beam. And finally, our point defense. Did a little bit. Will they run? No. No. This must have a death wish, which is fine. We hit through the shield, and let's give them everything we've got. We'll do the point defense and the heavy fusion beams. Still not disabled. Again, we cannot board them until their engines have been destroyed. The ship is immobilized. Let's very carefully pick through these weapons here. Here come the 2 neutron blasters. Oh my gosh. They're right on the cusp. Let's hit them with our point defense. And let's hit them with our fusion beams. They're still not disabled. I don't even exactly know what to do. Let's start with our point defense. I don't know that there's a way to select only a single weapon. Oh, there we go. There we go, folks. I know that was a slow, tedious process, but you see now the ship says immobile down on the screen. We can board her. 20 Marines, we send everyone we have. There were no defenders left. We'd already killed them all with our neutron beams. And the ship is ours. They just sacrificed a battleship to us. Fantastic. Thank you, Noel. New Terra 2 finished the Robo-Miner. Rigel finished the pollution processor. We suppressed 7 Nolam rebels on Tau 3. I bet we did. Here is the jewel in the crown of our production. New Terra 2 is just producing hundreds of production per month. Firstly, we don't have any good way to mitigate the pollution, but we'll just push on. Put another purger in the queue. We will return. They'll have one done in 9 turns. That's fantastic. Let's take a look at what's going on up here with the Knoll. Interesting. They're retreating back to Cetus. We'll pursue them. I'm debating whether we should disassemble the Ogre. It's been fully repaired outside of combat. Do the Knoll have technologies we need? Yeah, they certainly do. It's nice to have a battleship right now. I can scrap it now and get technology out of it. I could scrap it later. Let's go into the Races tab, and let's go to a report. We'll gather what little information we have on the Knoll and check probably their weapons technologies is what we're most interested in. We have the Neutron Blaster, we have the Fusion Beam, the Mass Driver Laser Cannons, we have nukes. We have everything they have. Check equipment, Class 1 shields, Reinforced Hull versus Heavy Hull. I think we've only got... No, we do have both of those. Do we have both of those? Tritanium armor, titanium. Augmented engines we could capture off of it, potentially. The ion drive we could capture. Or the antimatter drive, I should say. I believe if it's lit up, it means that we don't have it. I think is how they've organized this. So we don't have fighter garrisons, they do. We have all the weapons they have, and for equipment, the only things they have that we don't are the antimatter and the ion drive. They're considerably more advanced in drive technology. So for that reason, I don't know that dissecting that ship right now makes sense. I would rather keep the ship, prosecute the war against the Nolam, subsuming the rest of their colonies. Probably need more transports to do that. But what I could do, I'll keep that ship safe and perhaps take the Paladin and send it down to Zubin to help defend against Xenos there, assuming that our remaining battleships and transports will be sufficient to take what they have. Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe not. Hold on. Now let's keep this fleet together. Let's send this battleship from Beretta, which was there to drive off the Nolan. Let's send them to Zubin to help. I think that makes more sense. And we have, with the Tau fleet, not only our leader, Jared, should be up to the captain, but we've also got 4 transports, which is probably enough to capture the rest of these systems. Where are they retreating to? Gosh, I would love to get to Cetus before them, but I don't think we will. We'll take the 3 battleships to Simac. We can be there in 1 turn. Oh, that would be brilliant. Then they can't even counterattack because their fleet's en route. We can always get back to Tau in a turn if we need to. Yes. Via this wormhole. I just noticed a stable wormhole between Tau and Simac. So we'll send our fleet on immediately. What do we have going on at Tau? The Marine barracks, and they already have a missile base? Yes? No? They probably need a missile base. Let's move the missile base ahead of the Marine barracks. We need some sort of defense there sooner rather than later. And I'll pluck these Knoll off of science and put them on missile base production. All right. What does the Mentar fleet look like? No defending ships. Oh, and Zach fell to this species here in the white, which is the Darlocks. I thought they'd made peace. Oh, I guess not. The Darlocks took Zach. As soon as our fleet is assembled at Zubin, we need to strike at Mentar. We'll lose it. The Darlocks will simply absorb it. And I want to capture that technology if possible. So let's advance a turn. Oh my. This is the Simac system for planets? With no defenses, no star bases, no missile bases. They are helpless. Wow. Well, here's the strategy then. 1 pop, 2 pops, 5 pops, 8 pops. We will... The ultra poor, they're not great planets, I'll tell you what. We're going to invade the planet with the largest population first because they're most likely to be able to build a missile base or star base to completion. And we will just chew through them all. So here we go. 16 power suits against 4 infantry and 2 tanks. Yes, we'll invade. We probably won't even lose a Marine. Oh, look at those tanks go down. We lost a Marine. So their tanks are essentially like 2-hit vehicles, pretty durable. No match for us. We did lose 1 Marine in the combat, but the planet's ours. The others will fall very quickly. Let's jump into Simac here. We will annihilate their population. Of course, we don't need them. Let's... Don't worry about a missile base right now. I think the Knoll are falling quickly towards annihilation, towards extinction. I'll let them fall. Let's build a Marine barracks. Starbase, supercomputer. We'll just start with that. Oh, and we need to get our own Factorium workers off to these newly conquered planets. That's going to be a challenge. We need to find population to get here quickly. So that's what we need to focus on. So I'm just looking here. I'm trying to be a little more careful. There are no fleets inbound, so no one's coming at us right now. We can see the entire remaining Nolan fleet is a destroyer in that frigate and those transports at Cetus. We'll let them sit. When the time comes, we'll take them out. Although we will need... We've got 3 transports for 3 planets in Simic. We need at least 1 more transport to capture whatever planets are in Cetus. Maybe more, maybe 2, maybe 3. We can't actually see the system? No. Okay. So we need to build more transports. We have a bunch of Robominer plants being completed. Purgers coming through even more quickly than before due to the Robominers, which is nice. Although they are quite expensive to build. Yeah, let's... Who can we pluck production away from that has... Let's just grab one of these purgers and let's get transport done there. And another transport. I'm going to have them both build there. It'll stagger the development of these ships. So one will come on in line in 8 turns, 11 turns, 17 turns. And then obviously this transports will push this one back into probably the 21 turn range. But it does stagger the production, which isn't a horrible thing. We have enough food for right now, and we do need to start sending off colonists. Now you can see our first worker is arrived at Null, so that's good. But we have newly acquired planets, 2 of them, that we need to pluck away folks from. We're actually running low on freighters as well. We're going to pluck a colonist from Rotan, send them. And it took 4 of our freighter fleets. Good, we'll take colonists from Rotan 2, send them to Simac in 6 turns. And that took the remainder of our freighter fleets. We need more freighter fleets. Especially with our food demands growing so quickly. So, who do we steal that from? How about a colony base that we're working on? None of the colony bases are critical. Let's move a freighter fleet ahead of this colony base. See how quickly they can have it done. 1 turn. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. So, it'll increase our capacity to move our workers across our small empire. So we'll hit turn. We select combat at another Simac system. Again, they have yet to build the defensive building. I doubt they'll be able to get one built, but we'll go after Simac 3 since it has 5 population. Same process, no defenders whatsoever. I'm honestly a militiaman. Good for them. At least they tried to fight. That's it. We are detecting a massive disturbance in the webway network here in this pocket dimension. Some sort of horrific Xenos fleet coming through. Transport completed. Transport freighter fleet completed. Settler arrived at Null Prime. The Ilarian, the Dark Eldari, and the Cylon Empires have signed a non-aggression pact. Well, that's going to help them. Annihilate conquered colonists? Absolutely. Well, oh geez, that's pathetic amount of work. Automated factory, marine barracks, robo-miner, research lab, starbase. We'll just start with that. I might as well have them feed themselves. They seem to be really bad at working on stuff. And here is that Xenos fleet en route to Ramad. Interesting. Well, that's a tough pill to swallow there for the Sakra, I believe. Not our concern. We'll take it in the face, I guess. What do we have here at Rigel? We finished a transport. We are going to speed them on to the Simac system in 8 turns. Yeah. Oh, no. We have Xenos at Null. Yeah, we'll send her to the Simac system for the time being. What's going on at Null? A single destroyer. They're blockading Null 1. However, we have a missile base, so they can't attack, and they have no transports. They have no chance of destroying or taking the planet. They're just blockading us. I will tolerate it for now. I would love to capture that ship, to be quite honest. Okay. I see here that the Sakra are in retreat to defend Ramad. Their fleet will probably take massive damage. I wonder if we have enough fleet to take Mentar. A Persia 1 and a Persia 1.1. With a single ship en route. 3 turns. Let's wait the 3 turns. We're going to cross our fingers that Mentar is still around in 3 turns so we can send our fleet on, but I'd rather have 3 battleships. Mentar is the capital of the Cylon's empire. They should have a star base in orbit, maybe a battle station. We use our tactic where we swarm in and capture it with our marines, but yeah, we want to be able to absorb the damage, so we're going to wait for that ship to get there. Let's see what happens. Select combat. Yeah, we're just going to move on to the next planet in the Simic system. We invade. No defenders. Planet's ours. Yes, we captured the anti-matter drive. Capable of moving a ship 5 parsecs a turn. All ship drives are automatically upgraded when the technology is discovered. All of our ships are going to be able to propel themselves faster immediately. That's fantastic. And this is our own research here. The Class 3 shield has been completed. Protects ships from physical and energy attacks. Absorbs up to 15 times the ship's size in damage before failing. With each attack reduced by 3 points of damage. Regenerates at 30% per combat turn. That's right. So this will automatically be placed on our star bases. We will have to retrofit our ships to get that technology on them. So at this point, I think we're ready to go for those assault shuttles. And this will allow us to send out small assault craft from our battleships to land marines on something like a starbase and capture them even more quickly without having to close the gulf between them. So we're going to go for those assault shuttles in approximately 7 turns. We'll have that. And the colony ship arrived at the Monius system. We will obviously colonize the Abundant planet. I'm not going to lie, we're really extending ourselves out here because extremely hard for us to defend Monius where it's at. It is what it is. Let's go for the automated factory, the marine barracks, the robo-miner, then the colony base, then the missile base. I'm not going to try and defend the planet that's nearly indefensible. Xenos get it. It's a sacrifice we can make. We have a lot of Terrans. Null Prime has had food starvation. It's not an issue for us because of the blockade. We've only got one Terran on the planet, so as long as the original inhabitants are starving first, we don't care. And Rigel christened the new ship to transport Purgers next in the queue. We will annihilate these conquered colonists, yes. Automated factory, marine barracks, robo-miner research, starbase, supercomputer. Roughly in that order. And I'm just watching for threats around the galaxy. No one is en route to us. We're nearly done taking out Simic, and then we'll go thunk Cetus there and wipe the Nolan from the galaxy. Just checking here on our ship production. We've got Purgers coming. They're not coming fast enough, I'll tell you. We need so much more, so much faster. And then let's check our colonies. I know we have some colonists en route to, I think, Simic 2 and maybe Tau 3. But these other Simics are going to need additional workers. So let's pluck away some more. And who could we steal from? Kind of bleeding away. There we go. We'll bleed some more folks away from Rotan, I guess. There's sort of safe worlds that are behind the frontier of the war front. 4 turns, yeah. And let's pluck another away from Rotan 5. Same planet, and we'll shuffle them once they get there. I guess I could have rearranged it. It's fine. But fortunately, we have a sufficient freighter fleet. We have enough food for the time being. That's really all we can do. We have a lot of automated factories. I would love to help them purchase those outright, but for the time being, I want to save our coins since we're operating at a -1 income deficit for the moment. Let's see. Can we feed these folks better? Yeah. No. Yeah. There's nothing we can do about starvation on Null for the time being. All right. We will... oh, and what do we finish at Rigel? Another transport. We will send the transport to Simic. Again, we don't know how many worlds we'll need to conquer in the Cetus system because we can't see it. Zubin has 2 transports, which we think will be more than enough to conquer Mentar when the time comes. So we'll advance a turn. We'll select the final combat in the Simic system. We'll invade. By the way, you lose 1 troop transport every time you take a planet, regardless of whether you lose any Marines. So if we send 12 Marines down to a planet to die, it'll take as many groups of 4 to reload onto a functional transport. So we would get the first 4, the next 4 would go to 8. Those 8 Marines would be divided up into groups of 4, sent onto 2 transports in space. The remaining 2 out of the hypothetical 10 are left on the planetary surface. Their troop transports disassembled as part of the conquering of the colony. Temporary shelter for our troops while we take over all the equipment on the planet and start annihilating the local inhabitants. That's why we lose 1 transport with every invasion we do. Oh, excellent. Our tech priests have found ways to extract 5 more research every month from the unwilling Commodore Gizmo. It's how science should be done, folks. I appreciate that. Null Prime is still starving. We suppressed 1 Nolan Rebel on Simac 2. That doesn't surprise me. The Sakura and Silent Empires are now at war. Oh my gosh. That's a problem. We need to get our fleet to Mentar now. Annihilate conquered occupants? Yes. Oh, I hope we don't lose Mentar to the Sakura. That'll piss me off. All right, we need an automated factory, marine barracks, research lab, robo-miner, starbase. They return. Okay. We're sending our transports to Simac. We are going to send... Gosh, can we counterattack at Cetus? I think we can. It's tricky because I can see them sending their destroyer to Simic, but if we can conquer Cetus fast enough, we don't have any transports yet. We have a bunch of battleships. Would they go counterattack? They would. They would. Can we beat them there, though? We have... Our drives are as fast as theirs now. Let's send the fleet in 1 turn to Cetus and try and Coup de grace. Maybe we can draw the destroyers back and capture one. I don't want them to be able to build up any sort of real defense, so I'm going to continue to persecute the war very aggressively against the Null. I'm trying to eliminate them. Maybe be worth just destroying the planets in the Cetus system outright. We'll see. But my concern right now is that we have an invasionary fleet coming in towards Mentar. I will wait no longer, and I will send in our fleet to drive them off. Do they want to do war with us? I don't think so. I think they'll fall back. We'll hit turn. So they only have 7 transports defending Cetus. Oh my gosh. They don't have a missile base. They have nothing here. Let's attack. I'm not going to bombard anything. I'll just hit cancel. I did that to destroy the troop transports. I can't engage non-combat ships directly, but by attacking the planet, they were there. They're gone. So that's awesome. And we will just embargo Cetus. Here we go. Starvation still. Robo-miner. Marine barracks. Robo-miner. Annihilation. Settlers arrive at Tau. Perfect. Things are looking well. So as long as they keep the remaining 2 ships around Null, we have starvation. That's not great, but I'll put up with it. We're 3 turns with these transports to Simac. Can I redirect one of them? No, I can't. I can't get a communication out. But once they hit Simac, we'll send them over and we'll conquer the Cetus colony. We'll actually have 1 surplus transport at that point because there is only 1 occupied planet in the Cetus system. I didn't know how that was going to play out. There could have been 3 there, but there's only 1. That'll be the end of the Null. We still have Sakra en route. We'll beat them there. We're going to send our 2nd battleship in. 2 turns in Mentar will be ours. No ships defending it. Let's see what happens. Push forward, folks. We will sit. We'll wait. We'll do nothing. Combat. A single starbase at Mentar? Oh my gosh. Could 2 of our battleships take it? We're going to wait 1 more turn. I'm not going to rush this because there's no need to. And because I don't want to lose a battleship. I think by distributing the damage between 3 ships and increasing our firepower, I can imagine their technology being quite effective against us. So I'm being cautious. Missile base completed. Robo-miner completed. Lost colony at Simic Prime due to all people dead. Ah. Oh no, I didn't know that was a possibility. Did we have a chance to send colonists over? That sucks. We're gonna sort by name. I didn't realize that was a thing we had to worry about here. Hold on, we need we need more colonists. The colonists are en route. Are they not going to get there soon enough? Ah, dang it. Let's pluck a person from Rotan. We'll send them to Simac 2. We obviously need to get workers in the Simac system. I know 2 are on the way, and we've sent a 3rd, so hopefully we'll be able to get the workers there that we need to keep these functional. And they're blockading Tau? Ooh. Tau has a missile base, so they can fend off those Nolan. And they have a nice world here, actually, in the Tau system. We need to get a colony base built up. Hold on, let me just take a look here. Yeah, let's... After the Marine barracks, let's get that colony base done. And another colony base? Yes. And another? No. So we will build those 2 colony bases here in the Tau system as time allows. Okay. Here comes... Oh gosh, they're going to attack at Mentar. I'm hoping their fleet will fall back. We have a bigger fleet. We're going to have 3 battleships there, so we're going to give it 1 more turn and just cross our fingers here, folks. Okay, here we are at Mentar. We have 3 battleships. They're a destroyer battleship. We don't want to fight them. We're going to attack Mentar, not Sakra. And yes, there are no Sakra ships here, so that worked. Okay, let's just take a quick look. The planet does have a missile base. Ugh. Because we waited, they got the chance to develop that. So we're going to fire everything we have onto the planetary surface. Oh, actually, I should have advanced our dang ship first. Here we go. Boom. Everything's already been fired. We'll hit done. Oh, wow. That ship has got some get up and go. Look at that. Closing the gap extremely quickly. We're going to give everything we can to this planetary surface, though. Every missile volley we've got to scour life from it. We'll advance the Purger 1.0. Same thing. All right, and we'll scan the Cylon. Let's see just how tough the Cylon are here. Tritanium armor, reinforced hull, heavy armor, security stations. That won't help them. They've got 20 Marines. Shield capacitor does make their shield pretty effective. They have neutron blasters, which will kill all Marines, but that's a nice thing about having 3 battleships is it gives us a lot of Marines, so I don't think they can scour all of our Marines off. Their beam attack is plus 140, but their beam defense is -5, so non-existence. Missile evasion is good, but we're not firing missiles at the starbase. So we're going to get up close to that starbase. We're going to have our beam weapons punch through that missile defense, take down the shields, and border. It should be chip chop. I'm not worried about it, but we do need to take out this missile base on the planet. They hit hard. We can survive a bit more of that, but they do hit really hard. Holy cow. And let's fire again onto the planetary surface. Actually, I want to scan that missile base. Structure there is just 200. Oh, okay. They're firing pulse-on missiles, which are extremely devastating. When a volley of 14 of those hits one of our battleships, it's going to be a really bad day for those Marines on board. I'll tell you what. But done. We will... Should we hold our ship back? Yeah. We're going to hold our ship back because it takes longer for those missile flights to get to that ship. And we'll advance our other battleships, closing the gap as quickly as possible. And again, firing everything we can on the planetary surface. When our missile volleys intercept, should be sufficient to scour the missile base from the planetary surface. Let's take a look at what happened. Yes, missile base is gone. So that's successful. Now we can just start to freely fire. I'm not sure why I did that. What's going on? Okay, we're in position. We're going to fire everything we have to try and take down that shield. And we're going to wait a turn. We don't use wait very often, but wait will allow us to get back to the ship. Because if our other ship can punch through the shield, all star bases are automatically immobilized, and we will simply border and end this combat. This ship is going to fire defensively. It cannot hit those missiles. Okay. She's going to fire on the shields here, trying to take them down. We'll hit done. And this ship is going to zoom in and just punch through the shields. Shields are down in that quadrant. We'll fire. We don't have anything else to fire defensively with. That is what it is. We will ignore the missile warning, and we will close the gap to the starbase, and we will board. 9 Marines to capture. 9 killed. Oh my gosh. Defending bonus 50. 15. Oh, there were 15. We killed 12. They killed 9 of ours. That's a bummer. Not going to lie, but here, done. We get back to our other ship we had wait, and we send their Marines on board. This should finish. There's only 3 left. We'll send all 10 Marines. 3 defenders, 3 killed. We lost no one. Ship is captured. Now, the final question is, as we end this turn, will this missile volley destroy our battleship? It did not. Yes. Mentar is ours. Well, we'll invade here. They have some militia, some power suits. We have 8 Marines attacking. Their total combat bonuses is plus 30s. Ours is plus 60. Their militia, of course, only defended at plus 10. That's pretty pathetic. We lost a single Marine. The Cylon are retired, and we captured the fighter garrison. Planetary base that houses 10 interceptors. Fighter garrisons are equipped with 6 bombers or 4 heavy fighter squadrons when the appropriate technology becomes available. So it'll go interceptor, bomber, heavy fighter as you develop that. New fighters become available after every 10 turns of combat. Clearly, most combats don't go beyond 10 turns, so Usually only get one salvo of those. GNN, where the news comes first. The Cylon Empire's fallen and will no longer wield power in the galaxy. Something in my eye there. Tau 3 had starvation due to the blockade of the Nolan. Cadath Prime finished construction. Robo Minor finished. Assimilated the last conquered Nolan at Simac 3. Annihilated, not assimilated. We're not assimilating. Zal 3 finished construction of Robo Minor. 3 settlers arrive at Simac 4. We will conquer the Cylons, absolutely. We're going to give them a Marine barracks. How about a missile base? How about a colony base? And then that star base. Maybe soil enrichment. I can see this being a good farming world for us. We will need to defend Mentar, though. It's a good planet. We'll hit return. So we've captured a lot of technologies. Okay, let's just think about this real quick here. We're about done with this report for the day. En route is quite a fleet at Mentar. Wow. Really? Okay, transports. I'm really glad all of our battleships survived that fight. Okay. Hold on. Let's go to Mentar. Let's get that missile base popped in. Hit OK. 3 turns to complete it. 2 turns to complete it. Return. How far out is their war fleet? 1 turn. What would it cost us to finish that? 374. Oh my gosh. We're short by 374. We can't do an instant buy. It's all right. Here, real quickly, let's reassign pops within the Simac system. So there's a settler to Simac 2 and a settler to Simac 3. Awesome. Now, we did lose one of the planets in Simac, so let's actually jump to Simac 4, who's been working on the starbase, and have them make that colony base to repatriate that, or, to get that lost colony back. So they'll be working on that. Food's in bad shape here. Now let's pop these guys off. Get them farming to help mitigate a bit of that. Starbase is still going to Zoth. Man, that's a slow process. We really need to get more food production going. Cadath? 1 farm. That's almost worthless to have them farm. 1 there. That helps a little bit there on New Terra. Geez, I gotta just check something here. On Null Prime, they're working on the Starbase. They do have food replicators, yeah? Yeah, they're producing 2 food. As long as our guy doesn't starve, I don't think it matters too much. Okay. I'm counting on wiping out the Null here in just another turn or 2. I'm really bummed these guys are blockading us with everything they have. That sucks. Let's hit turn. I am going to elect to not attack them, and we will see if they attack us. They did not. You are tuned to GNN, your source for all the news you need to know. Due to overworking by Sakra miners, the mineral classification of Tarkuta colony was lowered to rich. That sucks for the Sakra, but I'm glad to hear it. Assault shuttles completed. Squadrons of 4 shuttles used to move 1 unit of Marines each from your launching ships into enemy ships. This takes 3 hits to destroy, so it's extremely durable. Modified by your best armor and move it at speed of 6. That's great. And the next technology we're going to want is ion pulse cannons? Yeah. Because we want to take out those engines. Those ion pulse cannons are designed specifically to take out engines and structure without destroying the ship. Then we'll send our assault shuttles in. So we're going to have to do a redesign on the Purger here very, very shortly. Null has starvation. Robominer finished. Mentar had starvation. It's not a problem. Tau had starvation. We christened a new Purger and more transports completed. Excellent. We will have them work on another Purger. We're just going to keep them going on that, which is awesome. That's New Terra 2. So, that being said, We're going to jump into Mentar system. Can we buy this Marine? Yes. Oh, no, it'll be done next turn anyway. So, because they didn't attack us this turn, that's great. It allows us to complete the missile base on the next possible turn they could attack us. We're going to bleed off some folks here. Yeah. I think that's all fine. Actually, we could put them under research. Well, how many can we pluck away and still have them finish that? There we go. So we'll actually use them for a little bit of time left to do research as we continue to annihilate them. We have the freighter fleets. I'm hoping they'll retreat off of here once that missile base is done, unless they're sending more. No, that guy's going back. Some of their smaller ships are retreating. That's excellent. Let's send our new Persia 1.1 to Mentar. Drive these guys off more effectively. We have a transporter Rotan. Let's send them to Mentar. I mean, this is awesome. The Cylons are annihilated. The Null are going to be done here in one turn when that troop transport arrives, which will eliminate whatever these little fleets are doing. I'm not going to worry about food right now. We are going to send a colonist, so let's pluck one away from New Terra 1 here. Yeah. And we'll send them to Mentar. Perfect. 4 turns. It's not a problem. We'll hit turn. We'll hit turn. There we go. Invade. Cetus. We destroy the remaining Nolim. The world is ours. We're still not going to attack them here. Oh, look, they've retreated their fleets. We now have a missile base. We have our battleships. They've already retreated their fleets away. Galactic News Network, the galaxy's most watched information source. The Nolan Empire will live only in the history books as the last vestige of Nolan power has been annihilated. There you go. Mentar 2 had starvation. Mentar 2 finished the missile base. Rotan finished a spy. Annihilated the last conquered Nolan at Simic 4. And yeah, we're going to eliminate these freshly captured folks here. We'll make an automated factory, marine barracks, a robo-miner, and 2 colony bases. Then a research lab, starbase. Perfect. So we're rapidly gaining planets. The Sakra are in full retreat from us at this point, which is fantastic. Although they are sizable, but we're building up our navy. If we can hold on to Monius, that would be excellent. But we gained key technologies, and that's probably the thing that swayed most strongly in our advantage in this report, is things like the antimatter drive, I think it was, class 3 shields, robo-miners. We've got some good stuff. So I think on our next report, we will look into redesigning the Persia 1.2 with assault shuttles and with ion weaponry, which I think we'll have in approximately 5 turns. But that's it for now. I couldn't hope to be in such a stable place at this moment. And if we look at the histograph, this is the compounded view. We have just peaked out at the top of this list. The Terrans are on top of the galaxy. The Illyrian and the Klakon are down towards the bottom. They look primed for being our next targets to conquer. And let's just look at a broken down view. Population, yeah, the Terrans are in there quite strong. We're flatlining because we always annihilate population, but we're still growing quite fast. The Sakra actually have plateaued pretty solidly. For buildings, we've taken the lead, and structures. Oh wait, yes, fleets. We are in the lead, and we have quite a few good battleships coming online here shortly. Technology, we're no longer on the bottom, but we're in the middle of the pack. So the pocket dimension is rapidly falling to our favor. Till next time, may the Emperor look over you.